pressure, Melbourne. Apply some fucking body. Cossie! Oh, there's 10 minutes left in the first quarter and we haven't taken a mark inside 50. Run! Come on, Windsor. Oh, fuck. Alright, can a forward fucking lead, please? So we go long. It's a long bomb inside 50. It's a long bomb inside 50. It's another long bomb inside 50. Langford? To no one, to fucking no one. Oh, we have no one out the back. Is there a reason we have no one out the fucking back? Like, it's either they're all down or they're all up. There's no in between. Oh, don't do this cute kicking shit. Just fucking hit a target. Oh.
You know, you go in with no expectation, and then they give you a little bit of hope. They just fucking suck. Hi everyone, welcome to round 6 tips. Today's attire. I don't know if I would consider this nufty, but it's 28 degrees. And granted, I'm in a jumper, but I was not wearing the shirt, the jacket, and the scarf. So this is what we're working with. I think this is pretty nufty. It is just casual clothing that has the Melbourne memorabilia on it. So that is what we are working with, I fear. No face paint, as we can see. I hate to break it to everyone. It's Easter weekend and I'm Catholic and I'm not going to Easter with red and blue stains on my face and have my nonna look at me funny on Good Friday tomorrow and just go, "Ah, Steph, love what you did with your face." Not happening. It does mean that we can start with this week's games. Thursday night, tonight, we have Brisbane versus Collingwood at the Gabba. Collingwood were pretty convincing against Sydney, which I did not foresee. But travelling 2 weeks in a row, unheard of for the Pies, especially Scott Pendlebury. I'm sure that we all saw the statistic that he has been to only 11 venues in his entire 400 plus games. What a stat. What an incredible statistic. The Gabbatron is a coliseum. I still don't think Brisbane are playing their best football. I think that they're playing better football than Collingwood. And I think with all of the AFL app just gave me a notification. Dacos or Ashcrofts. It's like it knew I was speaking. That was scary. What was I saying? Yeah, I just think that Brisbane are playing better football than Collingwood. And I think that on Collingwood's minds are going to be, Mason Cox is out of contract. And so is Braden Maynard. And both of them might walk. And then our entire team structure is a little bit cooked. So I think that they might be a bit preoccupied internally. So I'm going to say Brisbane, and I'm going to say Brisbane by 36. Yeah, that sounds good. That feels good. Then we've got Friday. We've got the Good Friday appeal game, which is North and Carlton. It's North and Carlton every year. North are tipped to lose. I honestly think North are playing decent football, considering it's North. And all this, don't even get me started on the news about Carlton. Carlton back in the Winners' League. You beat West Coast. Who gives a shit? You're losing to North. I'm sorry. North literally just signed like 6 players. Like they just renewed their contracts. And Kemp is out with probably a season-ending injury. Kerno's playing mid still a little bit, so I'm gonna tip North. North by 10. Although last year I did watch that game and it was very one-sided and not in the scoreline. The 6 other blokes on the ground who were meant to be wearing green were definitely wearing blue. Second Friday night game, this one starts at 6:10. We've got West Coast, Essendon. Essendon will win. But fuck, we made Essendon look like premiership contenders last week. Holy shit, we made them look good. It's just genuinely unbelievable how we make teams who are bad look phenomenal. Like Essendon were playing like they could win a flag. Essendon will win by like 40 points against West Coast. They're going to Perth. Essendon will win. Fuck my life, look at this shit. Saturday, 1:20. Melbourne Freo. at the G. I can't even fake like thinking that we're not bad. I can't even just be like, hey, I think we might actually have a chance. We don't. And there's gonna be fucking 10 people there. It's a long weekend. Freo aren't coming over. The D's aren't showing up at football club. I wonder who will drop to bring in this week, because every week I look at the fucking ins and outs for Melbourne. One kid has a bad game and he gets dropped, and you bring in someone the same skill gap. We dropped Disco. What does Tom Fullerton have to do to get a game? He kicked 5. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? We've got guys kicking bags at Casey and they don't get a game. At least Freda is back in form, and upon reflection, he was probably a little bit stressed. He had the birth of his first child, and then as soon as that child came into the world, he kicked 2. I will excuse Bailey Fritsch. I don't know what possessed Simon Goodwin to put Harrison Petty back forward in the third quarter, but for some reason it worked, and I don't like that. Freo to win by 40. I can't even explain to you what goes wrong I just have no real... I have no faith in them. That's really hard to come to terms with, because I watched them win a premiership. And then the next 2 years go out in straight sets, but we made it to finals, and now we're 0-5. Going to be 0-6. I'm gonna have fucking face paint on my face. I'm gonna look like this photo of me when I was a kid. 4:15, Adelaide Oval, Adelaide versus the Giants. I don't know why the Giants are tipped to lose. I think Adelaide got robbed again last week. Man, it's funny watching them just get fucked by the umpiring. But I think the Giants are too good. Everyone in the mid is built like a brick shit house. Jesse Hogan's a fucking behemoth. You've got Toby Bedford running the wing. Man, I miss Toby Bedford and Jesse Hogan. You know, you got Caniglio. Name one other Giants player, please. Can my brain just go? You got the Greens, you got Whitfield. I just think it's too good. I think Adelaide, losing once to the umpiring fired them up. Losing twice may kill their momentum. I reckon look, if Jesse Hogan kicks 4, wow. Oh dear. 7:35 Marvel Stadium, Richmond Gold Coast. Realistically, Melbourne's game should be at Marvel. Actually, no. Yeah, I'll figure that thought out later. Gold Coast will win. Gold Coast are premiership contenders. They will smash the Tigers. I think Gold Coast will win by 50. They are just too good. They're just too good of a side. I cannot fault the Gold Coast Suns. Whatever Damien Hardwick is feeding them is working, because it's an incredible watch. They're probably the most exciting team to watch as a neutral fan. If they had a song as good as GWS, I'd probably be really into it, but you know, their song kind of sucks. Anyway, Gold Coast by 50. Sunday, 3:20, we've got Sydney versus Port at the SCG. Port performed a masterclass on Hawthorn last week. I cannot, for the life of me, tip them though. They do what Melbourne used to do. Win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. Win when it means something. Win when you're not meant to, and lose when you're meant to win. That is what Port are doing. So I cannot confidently tip them. We'll tip the Swans, and I'll tip them by 15. I'm gonna say 15 because if Port come out with the same intensity that they did last week, it'll be a close contest. You know, you just have to believe in Port to come out. That's how they should have played against Essendon, but they didn't. Last game for Sunday, 7:20, Marvel Stadium, the Doggies versus St Kilda. The Dogs. I'm just a fan of the Dogs at the moment. It's easy to be a fan of another club when your club is down the shitter. I just think Bont comes back this week. Dogs all the way. It's their home game. Bont's back. Rory Lobb has dyed his hair for the Good Friday appeal. Dogs by 25. And then Monday, we've got Geelong versus Hawthorn at the G. Now, I would have tipped the Hawks, but they just got smashed everywhere last week. And I think the media has been a little bit harsh on them. Like, they were top of the ladder. They hadn't lost a game. They come back from a bye. They still win. And then all of a sudden, Port just, I fucking hate Hawthorn, and they smashed them. I think Hawthorn will put up a contest, but I think that loss in Adelaide, watching, how do I put this politely? Watching the Port fans do aeroplanes in the crowd probably might have done a number on the mental. But you've got to tip Geelong. It's not a no-brainer, but it's Geelong. You know, the 8 blonde men in headbands are gonna go out there and play football. And Jeremy Cameroning. Dangerfield, I can't be mean to Patrick Dangerfield. Dangerfield's playing some of his best football. That really actually pained me to say that. Bailey Smith's looking good. Guthrie, Holmes, you know what I mean. Koning, Dempsey, Manor. It's just, the list is just too good. It's just too good of a list. You cannot tip against that list. It does not make sense to do that. Geelong by 30. There seems to be a theme this week. I think it's going to be like 30-point margin every game. That's just what my brain is doing. I can't do anything about that. That is just what it's saying. Here is the recap with my legs. Brisbane to beat Collingwood, North to beat Carlton, Essendon to beat West Coast, the Dockers to beat the D's, the Giants to beat the Crom, the Suns to beat the Tigers, Sydney to beat Port, the Doggies to beat the Saints, and the Cats to beat the Hawks. Like usual, feel free to leave your input and your tips. I do love discussing them in the comments. I do love to have a little convo, but let me know what you think. Obviously I don't go like too in depth with my reasonings, but if that's something you want to see, like where I have a more in-depth reason as to why I'm tipping them rather than they played shit last week, let me know. And I'll do a proper like dive into why I think that. I just don't want to like bore you with genuine facts and reasonings and whatever. But if that's something that we're interested in, I'm happy to sit down for an hour and a half and just yap my little face off. But thank you. I'll see you next week with some face paint.